Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Coffee and Headlines, our morning get together live here on Facebook, where we take a look at comments, ideas, questions, suggestions, headlines, all kinds of information that we can find that can help us connect with our city as a community of English speaking locals and where we scratch our nose when it feels itchy. Today is Friday, 26th of August. It's almost September. The patriotic month is coming and the weather is continuing to be warm and it's going to rain more in September, they say. So what do? We stay connected. We find fun things to do so that we can stay happy. And I'm happy because the weekend is here, and I'm happy because we have interesting news to share with you. But before we go there, interesting comments already. I love it. Before we go there, please let us know if you are new, and you can do that by writing the word new in the comments so that we can give you a happy little welcome. If you have something important to say, please add a capital letter Q to your comment, and we'll be so very happy to look at it during the comment section. Today we have news. We have news about vaccination campaigns. We have news about restaurants struggling with inflation. We have news about quale vendors. We have news about miners trapped in a mine, and a couple of reasons to go and visit Guadalajara, like we need extra reasons. And a reminder of what's going on tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be a pre-recorded broadcast, but we'll talk about that in a second. Let us first get through the news, and we'll take it from there. Oh, hang on. Bam. There you go. So the latest pediatric COVID vaccination campaign concluded successfully with over 5,000 vaccines administered to minors between the ages of 5 and 11 and 11 months to be precise. The remaining vaccines will go back to storage. No information has been provided as to when there are going to be new vaccines of any kind for anyone, but as always, we keep close track on these types of news, so we'll let you know as soon as we learn more about it. Now, this next one is a combination of a news item and a commentary. It is so common here in Puerto Vallarta. I don't know if this happens elsewhere, but here a reporter will go out and interview one person that represents a business sector, and this person will give his or her opinion based on his or her experience, and that becomes the news. Not very thorough, if you ask me, not very much of a research process, but this is what we have. Apparently, somebody went and talked to Eva. I forget Eva's last name, but she is the owner of River Cafe. And this is not about her, and this is not against her, but according to Eva, sales have decreased as much as 40% during the month of August. Clearly, this is what's happening for her or with her at her restaurant, the River Cafe. So I don't know if this is a general situation. Usually things dip down through the month of August, and then things start picking up during the second half of September with the Independence Day celebration. What is definitely real is the fact that inflation is playing a hard game on restaurants. And I had a nice conversation with our friend Michael Buford, who of course owns Bravos and Siam PV. And I asked him, how are you guys doing? And Michael told me that it becomes increasingly complicated to balance profit margins when prices go up. But we both concurred in the fact that ultimately good service is what makes or breaks a restaurant. Of course, prices have everything to do with it. But if you don't provide good service to go along with increasing prices, then things are bound to get a little tricky for some restaurants, I suppose. Apparently, Quale vendors the Mercado del Quale vendors have to pay an annual license that allows them to continue to be in business and to have their trash collected and basic services and so forth and so on. But a finances commission and a tourism commission within our city council have agreed to propose to the state authorities that the Quale vendors should be exempt from paying such a license this year due to damages from Hurricane Nora. Hurricane Nora hit our city just about this time last year. It was in the last few days of August. And when this proposal was brought up to Mayor Michel, the mayor of our city, he recognized that municipalities have the legal ability to override the state's Congress decision on the matter, but this type of proposal should actually go to the state Congress for final review and or approval. So I am not a Quale vendor. I can't empathize. I've never been in that situation, but it would seem to me like the vendors are getting a lot of slack lately. But again, it would be unfair for me to say that since I haven't been in their shoes. But that is what's going on with Quale vendors these days. This one made me laugh. With a wait time of 45 minutes to an hour, the city bus service in Las Juntas, north of Puerto Vallarta, has been so bad historically, and even worse recently, such that Unibus, the company that offers the service, has decided to offer the neighborhood free bus service starting this Monday, which it's a bus that will not come all the way into town. It will simply get them out to the main road so that they can take another bus to get wherever it is that they're going. In case you are disoriented, here's a little map that shows where Home Depot is. And Las Juntas is located right behind Home Depot. So this situation has been an eyesore for the city. It has been a challenging situation, excuse me, for the bus company. So hopefully something good will come out of this. And this one is tough. This one is so challenging. Imagine that you have a family member that ended up trapped in a mine, and authorities first tell you, oh, we'll get them out in a couple of days. Then it's a couple of weeks. And now authorities have just informed family members of the miners trapped in El Pinabete, a mine in Coahuila, that the rescue could take as much as 6 to 11 months. I'm not a mining expert, but I'm sure that the families must be devastated. Apparently, families have been offered compensation as a last recourse, but they have all declined this offering. They want their family members back. And needless to say, this is a PR nightmare for Mexico, as you know, it's the headlines have been all over the world, and it is unfortunate. It is unfortunate that given the circumstances, the miners cannot be, or maybe I should say, although nobody's calling it the bodies of the miners, but you know, they've been trapped for almost 20 days, 25 days, I forget the exact date, in which the mine collapsed over them. So this is what's going on. We will continue to report on this as we learn more details, but there's very little that we can say at this stage of the game. Ah, dear. Let's take a look at the weather just to see what we can expect for the next few days. Andrew, who is Andrew Tate? I should probably know who Andrew Tate is, but the name doesn't ring a bell. Andrew Tate has been permanently banned from receiving weather forecasts. Okay, whatever. It is 28 degrees Celsius right now. It is 82 degrees Fahrenheit right now. We are enjoying a lovely 100% humidity. How about that? A perfect day to stay still in front of a fan, if you ask me. Our weather forecast for today says rain and humidity throughout the day with a high of 31 and a low of 25. Tomorrow, Saturday, we will experience rain until evening with a high of 31 and a low of 24. And then on Sunday, we're going to have rain starting in the afternoon with a high of 31 and a low of 24. That's the weather forecast that is coming up for the next few days. I have a few other nuggets that I wish to share with you, some less important than others. But for starters, there is such a thing as the National Network of Magical Town Mayors. We know that we have pueblos mágicos, or magical towns, all over the country, a total of 132 of them. And this National Network of Magical Town Mayors just elected a new board, and we don't know where. But at this event, Tourism Secretary Miguel Torruco Marquez indicated that these pueblos mágicos in our country are essential to increase local, state, regional, and national tourism. In this photograph behind me, we can appreciate Compostela, Sayulita, Jala, and the island of Mezcaltitan, which are the 4 pueblos mágicos in Nayarit. Our own state has 9 of them: Mazamitla, San Sebastián del Oeste, Tapalpa, Tequila, Lagos de Moreno, Tlaquepaque, Mascota, Talpa de Allende, and Ajijic. I wonder how many of these you have visited. Pueblos Mágicos are always a beautiful and interesting place to visit. Some of them, in my opinion, are more magical than others, but what do I know? Sealand, a new aquarium located in the outskirts of Guadalajara, opened yesterday with several interactive areas and attractions for folks of all ages. I had no idea this was coming, but I found the website for the new aquarium, and I'm going to include it in the show notes in case somebody is heading to Guadalajara in the next few days and wants to check it out. Also coming up in Guadalajara, organizers have announced that the upcoming 2022 edition of Guadalajara's International Music Festival, or Fair rather, will take place November 9 to 12. This is both a professional event for those involved in the music industry, but also open to music students and the general public. No specific information has been made available at this time as to what's going to happen during this fair, but I will also include the show notes, the website in the show notes so that you can have them as well. Last but not least, a reminder that tomorrow will be a pre-recorded broadcast. We'll have all kinds of fun nuggets to share with you because we are going on a hike to the El Salto waterfall. This is a hike that is not organized by Coffee and Headlines. This is a hike that is organized by another provider. They are called the Corazon Vallarta Tours. I know that some of you have expressed interest in attending, so I would only ask that you kindly take a look at the event itself that we will post in the show notes so that you know exactly what to bring, where to go, what to do, and most importantly, how to confirm that you will participate in this event. Again, this is not something organized by yours truly. I'm going to be a passenger as much as anybody else is. But going to this tour will allow me to get some more information about how to get to this waterfall and share it with you this coming week. Last but not least, as you know, we have been talking about this art exposition that is going to take place on Sunday at Captain Don's. And I know that our friends from Control M, this wonderful music duo that does all kinds of great covers by songs by Fleetwood Mac and other fun performers from the recent past, is going to be present to perform at this opportunity to purchase handmade products created by local artists. So we're going to share that in the show notes as well. And this brings us to the end of today's broadcast. And it's a good, well, not the end, it's the end of the news and the beginning of looking at your comments just to see what everybody's up to. Oh my goodness, it is humid here. Let's see what we have. Christy says, fabulous Friday wishes to all from San Mateo, home of the baby squirrels. And I can tell you in advance that one of the things that we're going to look at tomorrow during the pre-recorded edition of Coffee and Headlines is the latest batch of wonderful photos and video that Christy has shared with me of her wonderful work rescuing wild critters, squirrels, and so forth. Let's see. Claude nailed it. It is fresh at the moment, but humidity is coming. Absolutely. Let's see what else. Oh, I remember, Joe, when you chimed in from Greece during your vacation. I'm glad that you're back. I hope you had a good time, and I hope that your trip back to Puerto Vallarta will be safe and sound. True Apodaca Cobel asks, we're in town from Denver, Colorado. What's going on this weekend? I have no idea. We find out about things that might be relevant to people that live here because this is a program for English-speaking locals. What's going on this weekend? I'm sure you can find a lot of information about events and things going on at the many, many outlets, websites, Facebook pages, forums, and so forth and so on that cater to tourists like you. Here, we have limited information, and I just shared what I know. Let's see what else we have. Ooh, Ryan's getting giddy about his new condo. Good for you. I ask myself this question every week, Kathy. Where did the week go? I've no idea. But time's flying. How crazy is that? Another year is going by. Michael says, I'm enjoying your YouTube walking tours. Thank you very much, Michael. That is a nice reminder for me to repurpose a few of the latest tours, which I haven't uploaded to YouTube as separate tours. But I'll be doing that in the next few days. Colleen asks, does anyone know about getting cars inspected in Jalisco? We have mentioned car inspection in Jalisco a few times. The best thing that I can recommend to you is to go to the official website for the government of Jalisco and find specific information there. The latest I recall reading about this is that Jalisco is still not penalizing people for not having the cars registered, or rather inspected here in Puerto Vallarta, but that is coming soon. I don't know the exact date. I am losing audio. Anyone else? Well, my upper frequencies... No, I'm just kidding. I don't see general indications that audio is a problem today. If anybody else is having problems, please let me know. In the summer, one of my main concerns is air conditioning. I like River Cafe, but don't think they have AC, so I do not consider them right now. I don't blame you, Mike. I mean, for me, a restaurant this time of year either has to have air conditioning or a lot of fans that they're willing to accommodate for me to enjoy them. And I hear you. I hear you very much. Ryan agrees. Good service is paramount, but also a changing menu from time to time to keep things interesting. You know, Ryan, I couldn't agree more with you. And I think it is challenging for anyone, not only restaurants. I mean, even for me. I mean, for me, it's challenging to keep things interesting every single day. that I come here, and sometimes I take a look at the number of people that are watching, and I go like, oh shit, that's not a lot of people. And sometimes a lot of people seem to be watching, but the bottom line is good service, and a little bit of a variety goes a long way. Let's see what else we have. I just saw that Rio Cuale Island is doing a Dia de los Muertos celebration. Looks like fun. They're looking for volunteers. I think that's awesome, Linda. This is the second time that I see. You are the second person that points me to news about Day of the Dead celebrations. I'm sure we will see more in days to come, and we will be so very happy to share all the information that that we can here at Coffee and Headlines. Paula asks, what were they mining? Paco answers, I have no idea. But the beautiful thing about that, Paula, is that that's what we create show notes for. We give you the headlines. We give you a place where you, on your own, can find more information about something. So enjoy sailing through the show notes. And they're in Spanish, I know, but Google Translator can give you a helping hand there. Let's see what else we have. Da-da-da-da. Uh-oh. Angelica is also having problems with the audio. I hope this is not widespread, and I'm sorry to hear that you guys are having audio issues. Maggie says, Guadalajara looks and sounds like such a cool city. I'm a big fan. I am a huge fan of Guadalajara. You guys know that. And whenever anybody is interested in going to Guadalajara, I get so excited of trying to create connections for them. Let's see. Do you think some restaurants try to reduce costs by reducing the number of servers they employ? Well, I'm sure restaurants rely on many different things to try to be as effective as they can be. I'm not a restaurant owner. I have seen restaurants that have a lot of servers. Sometimes they don't. But I empathize with restaurateurs because it must be difficult to predict when a lot of people are going to show up or not, whether a new dish is going to be well received or not. I have a restaurant friend that is now about to open something and trying some interesting offerings that may or may not work out. And the best thing one can say is, if it works out for you, then you learned. But if it didn't work out, then you also learned something. So if restaurants cut down their personnel for one reason or another, it's something that is worth trying, I suppose. Mark says, weren't we supposed to get an aquarium here? Yes. I remember when that happened. The latest I remember from an aquarium here is that the nice folks at Puerto Mágico, the new maritime terminal here in Puerto Vallarta, had all kinds of lofty plans that included building an aquarium. And I remember that at the time, this goes back a few years now, at the time they wanted to create a dolphin show or something to that effect. And a lot of locals, or a number of locals, protested against any kind of situation that involved dolphins in captivity. But then came the pandemic, and here we are. So no new information about an aquarium in Puerto Vallarta. I have not seen anything. Lots of glitching this morning. I am sorry to hear that, Starla. There's only so much I can do while we're already in the middle of the broadcast. I don't see any glitching on my levels. All I can suggest is if it's unbearable, it could happen for a number of reasons, and you can always come back to the broadcast rerun later on. Let's see what else we have. Well, again, not just audio cutting out, video cutting out as well, says Chris Brewer. I am sorry to hear that. It's probably Wi-Fi. There's very little thing I can do about it. It's kind of like knocking on the plane pilot's cabin, the cockpit, and saying, oh, there's a lot of turbulence while you're in mid-flight. I appreciate your comments, but everything looks okay from where I sit. Again, if it's really bad, I encourage you to watch the broadcast reruns. And this, my friends, this is Coffee and Headlines for today. Tomorrow, pre-recorded, we'll go on a new adventure with a provider that I'm not very familiar with, but I've been looking at their Facebook comments, and they seem to do a lot of things that are very, very interesting. It'll be fun to see what they're up to. I hope you have a great weekend, and I hope to see you Monday, and if not Monday, sometime soon. Between now and then, stay happy, stay kind, stay healthy, stay generous, and stay in touch. Have a good one.